How Bangladesh is secretly becoming the richest country in South Asia. Bangladesh, the youngest South Asian state, was formed on March 26, 1971, after a destructive and bloody struggle for independence. Its nascent years were marked with destitution and suffering. Just a year before Bangladesh gained its independence in 1970, the country had already suffered the devastating impact of the Bola cyclone, which resulted in the tragic loss of 300,000 lives. The following independence struggle, itself a gruesome episode, tragically claimed 3 million lives, making it the second largest loss of life after the Holocaust. And if these losses were not enough, there was more tragedy to come for the newly born state of Bangladesh. It was very densely populated, and at 42 million people, it was even more populous than Pakistan at that time. But its citizens were poor. Its gross domestic product per capita was only $134 in 1971. Much of Bangladesh's infrastructure and agriculture had been destroyed by the devastating cyclone. To add to its miseries, it lacked significant natural resources, and its political situation was also far from stable. It was, at that time, considered one of the poorest nations in the world. The country seemed doomed to be plagued by ongoing poverty and distress. Henry Kissinger famously used the term basket case to dismiss Bangladesh in 1971. In the years that followed, the economic landscape of the South Asian region was dominated by two powerhouses, India and Pakistan. Bangladesh's growth and development got overshadowed, and the newly born state found it hard to compete successfully in the region. But to the surprise of everyone, Bangladesh has effectively disproven all doubts regarding its future. Today, 5 decades later, this state has become a case study of economic development owing to successful fiscal policies and strategies, and through leveraging its resources and human capital. The World Bank has called it one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. It has achieved all this despite receiving limited global attention. In this video, we will explore the measures taken by Bangladesh that have led to its remarkable economic progress. And we will also assess whether or not there are any remaining challenges that need to be addressed. Bangladesh's first step toward economic transformation was the government's commitment to economic reforms and development. In recent decades, successive governments have prioritized economic reforms and invested in long-term development plans. The economy has transitioned from a predominantly agrarian-based system to one focused on manufacturing and services. In recent years, the garment industry has been a significant contributor to the export earnings. In the years 2021 and 2022, Bangladesh was the second largest apparel exporter in the world, as it has exported garments worth $42 billion. The political leaders of Bangladesh also encouraged foreign direct investments and export-oriented industries. The government's pro-business policies and investment incentives have attracted foreign investors, particularly in the textile and garment sector. Today, Bangladesh hosts 2,500 startups, with 200 more being added each year. These cover a wide range of industries, including financial technology, e-commerce, logistics, and mobility. The government has also had an interest in developing the key economic sectors. In addition to focusing on the textiles and apparel industry, it has also invested in information technology and pharmaceuticals. Furthermore, the remittances from migrant workers have emerged as vital pillars supporting the state's economic growth. The government's second main focus has been on education, health, social welfare, and economic inequality. This has resulted in higher primary and secondary education attainment, reduced maternal mortality rates, and increased life expectancy. Almost all children in Bangladesh attend a primary school, so the primary school net enrollment rate is 97%. Also, due to a flagship female stipends program, girls make up more than half of secondary school enrollments. These girls then become women who enter the workforce. The government's investment in healthcare and social welfare programs has caused a reduction in maternal mortality rates. According to the World Bank, the cases of maternal mortality have declined from 434 per 100,000 live births in 2000 to just 173 in 2017. The result of all this is a healthier and more productive population, leading to further economic growth. The country's scientists have played a crucial role in introducing innovations in crop varieties, leading to Bangladesh achieving self-sufficiency in food production. These advancements in food production practices have effectively combated hunger, malnutrition, and poverty, even amidst the challenges posed by extreme climate disasters. The government has also attempted to reduce poverty and income disparities through numerous poverty alleviation programs. The major social safety net programs, SNNPs, in Bangladesh can be categorized into four main groups. 1. Programs aimed at generating employment. 2. Programs to address natural disasters and other shocks. 3. Incentives for parents to support their children's education. And 4. Incentives for families to improve their health and well-being. Several cash transfer programs such as Old Age Allowance, Widow and Husband Deserted Women Allowance, and Maternity Allowance for poor mothers have played a crucial role in mitigating the issue of deprivation. Over the past 2 decades, extreme poverty has sharply declined from 34% in 2000 to just 11% in 2022. This too has added to the economic stability of the country. Another main focus of Bangladesh's government has been the development of infrastructure. At the beginning of the video, we discussed how at the time of independence, much of Bangladesh's infrastructure had been destroyed by the Great Bola Cyclone, which still holds the record today for the deadliest tropical cyclone in world history. After that destruction, the government knew it needed to invest in roads, ports, and railways in order to facilitate trade and spark the economy. The government also expanded the energy and power generation capacity to meet the growing demands of its industries and urban centers. The electricity generation capacity has increased from about 5 gigawatts in 2009 to 25.5 gigawatts in 2022. The government of Bangladesh claimed in March 2022 that 100% of its population has access to electricity. It further intends to invest $127 billion in the power generation sector to propel economic growth and meet the domestic needs of its people. The country has also witnessed significant growth in its ICT sector, fostering a digital economy and attracting foreign investments. In addition, Bangladesh has been focusing on regional trade and local economic cooperation. Bangladesh's neighbors include India and Myanmar. With these and others, Bangladesh has strengthened its regional cooperation. The country actively engages in regional economic forums such as SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, and SAFTA, South Asia Free Trade Area, to boost economic cooperation with neighboring countries. The country has signed various trade agreements with states within the South Asian region and beyond. According to Asian Development Bank, it has signed 14 bilateral and multilateral free trade agreements with many countries, including China, India, Brazil, Malaysia, Turkey, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bhutan. Bangladesh has also pursued diplomatic initiatives to enhance trade and economic cooperation with its neighbors, fostering regional economic integration. All of these measures have propelled Bangladesh to become one of the rapidly growing economies of the region. Let's shed some light on the current economic indicators of the country. With an annual GDP growth of 6.4% between 2016 and 2021, Bangladesh has successfully surpassed its Asian neighbors, including India, Pakistan, and Myanmar. It has also performed better than the global average of GDP growth, 2.9%. What is even more surprising is that the country has strongly resisted global economic shocks. In 2020, its GDP rose to 3.4%, making it one of the few Asian states to have flourished during the COVID-19 pandemic. Its annual GDP growth rate has surpassed Pakistan's by approximately 2.5% per year. Interestingly, in 2022, its GDP per capita was $2,800, which is greater than that of India's. At its current growth rate, the country is on its way to turning into an upper-middle income state by 2030. In addition, its annual population growth rate is at 1.1% per year, which is significantly below Pakistan's 2%. This indicates that Bangladesh's per capita income is growing at a faster pace than Pakistan's by roughly 3.3% points per year. It is no surprise that several multilateral development banks and agencies have praised Bangladesh's efforts in the fields of poverty reduction and sustainable development. The World Bank, for instance, recognizes Bangladesh now as one of the fastest-growing economies. Despite its progress and remarkable economic growth, Bangladesh still faces certain challenges. Income disparities and social inequalities are important issues that require attention and targeted interventions. Studies show that the gains from economic growth have trickled up instead of trickling down, and therefore people from low-income groups struggle even now to get 3 square meals a day. It is not surprising that in the latest Human Development Index, HDI, Bangladesh ranks at 129th out of 191 countries. Furthermore, Bangladesh must find a path to harmonize economic growth with environmental sustainability while ensuring equitable distribution of benefits across all segments of society. The pursuit of economic expansion at the expense of environmental degradation poses a serious threat to long-term sustainability. According to a World Bank report, economic loss from environmental degradation stands at around $6.5 billion per year, which makes up 3.4% of the state's annual GDP. The Environmental Performance Index report ranks the country at 162nd position out of 180 most polluted countries. Also, 28% of deaths in the country are caused by air and water pollution. The over-reliance on specific industries like textiles and apparel may pose risks to the economy, necessitating diversification strategies. The World Trade Organization's trade partners have urged Bangladesh to diversify its export mix. They have also requested the country to improve labor rights and safety standards in the apparel and other sectors of the economy. Political instability presents another challenge that hinders economic progress in Bangladesh. Stable governance, coupled with consistent economic policies and development plans, always instills confidence in investors and creates an environment that is conducive to economic development. A quote from Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina: "If we have political stability, we have seen that the country develops." Though the Prime Minister's words are strong, this remains a challenge yet to be addressed by the country. The Russia-Ukraine crisis, a truly global issue, has sent shockwaves through the world economy, and Bangladesh is no exception. The Prime Minister herself has played this down in her speeches, but with Bangladesh's untapped potential and the rapid speed at which it is already growing, it's safe to say that it will emerge stronger after this international crisis. Despite all of these issues and challenges, Bangladesh is still lauded as the fastest-growing economy in the world. A mere 5 decades ago, it was one of the poorest nations in the world, and now it has turned into one of Asia's most remarkable and unexpected success stories. A country that was scarred by political instability, deteriorating policing situation, devastated infrastructure, and rampant hunger and want is today a case study of hope and progress. Bangladesh is currently outpacing many of its neighbors, including India, Myanmar, and Pakistan. If you found this video interesting, then give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments section below. To watch more informative videos, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon for notifications.